Let's fucking do this.
Audience, are you ready? This is Michael June with Pass in 3, 2, 1.
My bestie and I are hanging out outside of one of our regular bars, smoking, drinking, generally being delinquents, when a young man comes up and says hello. He and Bestie used to work together, and in catching up, he relates to us a story that begins with him talking to a woman who's not really a woman. And I, naturally curious, ask, wait, when is a woman not really a woman? Is it like a riddle of the Sphinx kind of thing? And he says, oh, you know, she's trans. That's a woman, I tell him. And this hapless young man backtracks and restates and caveats and apologizes, and he does all the things that straight people do when they're gently being called out for doing a transphobia. And don't worry, this story is not actually about him, so you can forget about that poor asshole. And it's also not about that no doubt gorgeous and perfect trans girl that he was unfairly maligning. No, this story is me happily reporting that I passed. That's right. Some dumb motherfucker ran his mouth to me misgendering a trans woman because he didn't realize that I'm a transsexual, darling. I mean, everything else about that story sucks, but don't you love this for me, right? So a couple of weeks later, Bestie and I are in Midtown, again, smoking, drinking, being delinquents. They duck into the bottle shop on 10th to grab a pack of smokes and some water, and I'm outside of Blake's when this dude, Chemo, says hi. He asks to bum a cigarette, asks how my night is going. And I smile, I hand him my lighter, and I tell Chemo I'm doing all right. And he puts his hand to his chest and goes, girl, I could not clock you. Chemo says that I pass. And we listen to Chemo. Chemo's seen a lot of shit. Okay, so slowing down, backing up for my straights in the audience who are patiently waiting for me to say even a single word that makes sense to them. See, when a transgender person becomes indistinguishable from a cisgender person, they are successfully passing. When a T-girl bears telltale signs of being trans, wide shoulders, narrow hips, facial hair, Adam's apple, that girl is Clocky. I feel Clocky as fuck. Like, yeah, Chemo could not clock me until I opened my big goddamn mouth. And in calling out that boy doing a little transphobia, my first thought was, oh wow, I passed. Oh fuck, oh no, I passed. Because listen, I started transitioning when I was 40 years old. 3 years ago, I was a paunchy, unremarkable nerd. This loud goth bitch in a black dress with her combat boots and her frankly beautiful tits. Yeah. This is as much a surprise to me as it is to anybody else, trust me. Going on hormones in middle age, I knew that there was only so much that the tit tacs were gonna do for me. I had resigned myself to being Clocky for life, and honestly, I was good with that. Because here's the thing about being trans. Not all of us are trying to pass. That's right. Cisgender people have persecuted, hurt, and killed us for ages, and you think we're trying to be more like y'all? Please. No, because being visibly trans, being Clocky is a political stance. Whenever I'm in public, I know that there are likely people there who have never seen a transsexual before. And it is important to me that we are seen. Because if we are not known, then that boy saying women, but not really women, will be the story that gets told about us. The pundits who call us groomers and predators, that will be the narrative of who we are. And fuck that. We are parents, we are workers, we are people, and they are not going to see me unless I'm a little bit Clocky. Before I ever took my first dose of estradiol, I knew that this was going to be dangerous. Brianna Gay got stabbed 28 times with a hunting knife. Polly Likens was dismembered with a power saw and dumped in a lake. Because that is how much society, that is how much men hate those of us who have turned our backs on the patriarchy. That is how much the world hates girls with dicks. So, this 5 o'clock shadow, this deep voice, this loud bitch proudly standing on stage and outing herself as a tranny, that's how much fuck heteronormativity. That is how much fuck fitting in. That is how much fuck you. Because honestly, I would love to not have to care about this shit. When left to our own devices, trans girls are a brilliant spectrum from Met Gala-worthy high femmes to scuffed Chuck Taylor sporting sewer kittens, and I love us all so much. On our own, we choose our presentation based solely on how gender we feel that day. Our concern with passing is mostly because of you. Because if we walked around how we want to all of the time, well, one, everybody would be far too horny, and that would be a problem. But two, it would not be safe. Passing is not fashion. Passing is survival. Passing might mean working versus being fired because you're making other people uncomfortable. It is brutal, and it is capricious. Passing also means finding gender euphoria in the strangest places. A couple weeks ago, I was turning left on a red light during rush hour and did that thing where I just went through on a red light and somebody shouted through his open window, "Bitch!" Moi? Still got it, baby.
Keep it going for Michael June.